Hello, 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 and welcome to my channel. Hello, hello, and welcome to my channel. Ooh, there's an echo in here. Tonight, we're going to paint a sunset. I found some seashells at the beach and some shark teeth and a very white seashell that's not broken, that was bleached out in the sun. It's just so beautiful, and I just thought it was very inspiring. So I wanted to use my inspiration for this painting stream tonight. And we have some really cool shark's teeth. Actually, let's find a better platform. I think white is good. I found a few shark's teeth that are pretty cool. So we've got the white seashell, and we've got some different types of shark's teeth. They're from different types of sharks. This one has some brown. It's been worn down quite a bit. Sometimes they're broken. And we do have our paint palette all ready. But I was so excited about these shark teeth that I wanted to share them with you. And they're all different. There's so many different kinds, and there's so many different kinds of seashells. And these are some little guys, and I like to take the little seashells I find on the beach and I glue them onto my paintings sometimes. And so and I use like hot glue for that. This one is a really cool shark tooth. It's mostly white with some black on it, and the back is white with more black on it. But shark teeth come in many different shapes and sizes, and so do seashells. So you've got all these different seashells. So I thought it would be pretty cool to use this for inspiration tonight for my stream. And just paint a few lines of color. This is going to be a very easy sunset. You can even follow along. So I'm going to put my shark teeth away for tonight. I got them all cleaned out. In fact, I bring buckets and buckets of seashells home from the beach. It is legal to collect seashells here in Florida. In some places, you're not allowed to remove anything from the beach at all. But in Florida, we have so many that it doesn't really affect our ecosystem much. Let's see here. I'm trying to find. Now, tonight I'm using this color palette, and we've got our water and our brushes all picked out. Like you can see right here, I've picked out a few brushes, and they're in this little water holder here with our, and these are filberts I'm using tonight. So we're putting all of these. This is a smaller filbert. And this one is kind of more of a scrubby brush, which you never know when you need to be scrubbing something. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over, and let's bring in a little bit more light here. And yeah, I'm moving the camera around because that's what I do. I move things around a lot and too much. So what I did is I took watercolor paper and I sealed off the edges with some green painter's tape. I'm trying not to push on the outside too much. And then here, this is our water line here. So below this piece of tape is our water, and above this piece of tape is going to be our, what do you call it, our sky. And in the middle of it, we're putting dolphins. Now, I'm not going to paint the dolphins. I found the coolest little sticker, and I thought, you know what? It'd be more fun to stick this dolphin sticker on than it would be to try to paint this. So I have some of these colors already. And I may be able to match them. I did not pick out an orange though. I just realized there's some really pretty orange in there that I need to match up. And I think this orange is good. It just needs a little more white added to it. This orange is even better. And this one's called Vermilion. So let's add vermilion to our color palette tonight. We have, this is vermilion. I want to make sure I have plenty of color. And I apologize for coughing. My allergies kick in the evening. I think they're allergies. So this one is our vermilion color. And then we have a really pretty magenta, which I thought matched the top of this little dolphin sticker. And of course our yellows. And this is a phthalo green color. The label came off of this, so I just painted it the right color because I know what phthalo green looks like. And it's one of my favorite colors to use for water, for ocean water. So we're going to use those. And simply put, I did get my video to go into horizontal mode tonight. Normally it's always in vertical. And I think that is the most popular way to watch videos, but I want to be able to see, I want you to be able to see my palette and my canvas at the same time. And maybe even a little bit of the watering, the water trough. I'm going to call it the water trough. So let's get ready. And we're going to use our big brush because we want to put in, now there is pink in the sky, but so we're going to have to mix white with our pink to get that really pretty pinky color in here. So this is going to be a little tough to match. It's kind of a challenge, but I think it's going to be worth it because these are so dang fun. So we'll begin with our yellow, which is where our sunset's going to be. And I'm using the big brush because I just want to bring that yellow right across. We'll start right here because our sunsets usually have some beautiful, beautiful yellows. It can be very bright and cheerful. And into that yellow, we're going to add a bit of our vermilion. And that's going to pop this color right up. Hope you can see that. And it looks like it matches that next color just above the horizon where the sunset is. I'm not going to do exactly how it is on here, but close enough. It's going to match, I think. It's going to look really cool. I think I'll add just a tad bit more yellow, just right in the center there. And then what I'm going to do is take the smaller brush that's dry. I'm going to put a little bit of yellow on that, on the tip, and blend it up. You might need a little bit of water on this brush. There we go. And then we're going to blend this right up so we don't have like too many separate lines. We want to keep our lines kind of muted. A little bit more water here. This is very good watercolor paper. It's a nice heavier weight. There we go. I think that looks just beautiful. And it looks like the colors match really nicely. So when our dolphins are jumping out, it's going to look like they're jumping right out of the water. Now we have a little bit of a darker, so I'm going to use straight vermilion, but not a lot of it. Just a teeny bit, just to kind of enhance. So we're going to bring our vermilion out. And I should use our paint extender seems to really help with the flow of the paint. And I'm just going to add a few drops. It's clear paint extender. I'm going to add a few drops to that to get our more of a flow here. Our paint is just, because I'm doing on a dry watercolor paper, it's absorbing in very quickly. So we just need to add a little more water because acrylics can act like um, watercolors if you do it right. A little bit there. It's going to look a little bit more reddish. Be really beautiful. Beautiful sunset. Now I'm going to add in a little bit of, so we're going from lighter to darker. And I'm cleaning my brush really well in this brush cleaner thingy. That's a really great bucket. And then looks like I have a little bit of yellow on there yet. And we'll probably be using blue next. And we'll just stick that right in our holder. So now we've got the beginning of our sunset here. Isn't that beautiful already? I think it's very pretty. I had a phone holder somewhere for my phone. I don't know where. Luckily, I have two. And it was quite a hot day today, very hot indeed. Let's see, for some reason, I'm not getting my chat here. So if anyone's saying hello or anything, I'm not seeing it. So I apologize if you have said hello, that I haven't seen it. Okay, so I'm gonna spray this top here, get that a little wet with my little water sprayer that I use. And we're gonna mix up some blue color. Well, actually, we have like over the orange, there's some purple, and then there's some magenta. So I think I'll go for the magenta first, and then we'll do the blue. So here's how we're going to mix our color. We want lots of white and a teeny bit of magenta. And we'll actually spray these paints as well because I want them to be nice. Keep our acrylics wet. That really, really helps the flow of the paint. And that is a very hot magenta. So I'm going to start with a less hot magenta because it's going to, I want to have some blue in the sky as well. Most skies don't have like purple clouds, so I'm going to leave those out. I might add in like the other half of them when we're done. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and do our magenta color. That's very rainbow-esque. Very rainbow-esque. And I'm going to blend it right into that orange. So pretty. Now, I have a lot of paint on my brush that I cannot use, so I'm just going to wipe it off. And then we'll use the really nice dark magenta because that's going to match this. And since that's our water line right there, I want to put the dark magenta here and here. And strategically, I should probably let that dry a little bit first. It's just going to blend into the orange. So I have a fan here. I'm going to hold my fan over the, woo, look at that. Okay, I'm going to hold my fan over the paint for just a second to get it to dry faster because it is good to work in layers. And hi, Angel. Hi, Angel. Thank you for joining tonight. I think you're my first one. So guess what you get? Well, you're the first one to comment. So I appreciate that you are on here tonight. Let me get you my. So, Angel, tonight you are number one. Good job. You're number one. You're number one. I love my little hearts. I gotta make some more of them. Now, how was your day today, Angel? Mine was pretty interesting. We had a nice thunderstorm with some heavy, heavy rain, right? I think you I think you were here, maybe. All right, so I'm just letting that dry a little bit more, and then we're gonna add our bright, bright, brilliant magenta. Mm. And I'm using two different types of paint. This one is Artist Loft. And then I'm also using, for the yellow, I used a basic from Liquitex. And you want to get the full body basics, that gives you the most color. And then they have like a light body one. So I'm using two different kinds. And then I don't even know what this is. The label came off, but it works really good. So, you know, in some different paint, what do you call it? Brands have different consistencies. So it's important to know like which ones have a uh, darker, what do you call it, consistency, more fluid or more firm consistency. This one is a little firm. And I already got white up here, so I'm trying not to get white and orange into my magenta. So I'm going to spray a little bit more water on there. It's just on my brush, actually. And now the dolphins are going to go right there. So I'm going to bring some dark magenta into the picture. I just love stickers. Stickers are so fun. And lately I like to incorporate them into my paintings. I think I'm going to have to add just a teeny bit more magenta here, but I'm not going to put it, well, I guess I'll put it right up there. And two, like if you haven't used some of your paints for a long time, they will get old and nasty. You can still use them, but they get old and nasty. I'm just going to smush it down, grab some, smush it down. And then I want to add a little bit of this light to it for the top. There we go. This is going to be a different color than I've ever painted. And I want this to blend a little better, so I'm going to clean my brush really, really well. And give it a little pop. And then we're going to just work this over until it blends nice. It's a really hard line right there, so I'm going to try to smooth that out a little bit. And pop in a little more color right up here. I like it. I think that's good. Now we can add our blue. I used a ultramarine blue. I think I have a little bit of violet in here also. This is Artist Lofts, and this one's basic acrylic, but they do seem to work well together. And I've got this really huge brush, but I'm not going to need this again tonight. It works really well for very large paintings. What am I doing? I'm just doing a little watercolor. but I did find the perfect brush, and that is the number 14 Filbert from Artify. We have a Michaels and a Hobby Lobby here. Angel, both me and my friend are watching since she's over. Oh, hi, friend. Oh, I forgot her name. I know you told me because I'm so great at names. You know how it is. That's so cool of you guys. I'm going to throw in some purple. I am like a sucker for purple. I just love purple. We're going to have a nice, deep, dark purple right over here. And I want it to be nice and thick. All right, now we're going to wipe this brush off and clean it really well, and then add our blue. Now the blue here, oh, I have a hair stuck in there. Uh-oh. I swear I have more hair that falls out of my head per day than anybody I know. So let's get a little bit of our white, a little bit of our blue. I'm going to mix that up nice and pretty, like a little more blue, nice and dark there. And we're going to blend that in with our purple. A little bit darker right in here. That's the stormy side of our painting. Yeah, I got a lot of, I'm going to be wasting a lot of paint tonight because I'm just not going to deal with trying to save paint. But thank you for watching, Angel and friend. You guys are so awesome to join. I'm not hoping someone else joins tonight. It's just me talking to myself and you now. All right, so now we want this kind of a pinky color to blend in with that. So I'm taking a little bit of our magenta, which is actually, yeah, magenta. And we're going to put a little bit of this mixture of white and magenta together. I don't want it too harsh. And just run that right through. And I'm going to add some more water to our brush and the paper. And run this magenta through. And I'm bringing it up. And then I'm bringing this blue down just a bit. Because we've got our night sky starting to come in, our sun's setting. And once again, wiping this brush off because I want to pull some of that purple over. I'm going to grab a little bit more purple actually. And we're just going to bring it over. I've got way too much blue here. Scraping it off. It's a little cheap. And we'll bring our purple over nice into that blue. It's so pretty. Nice long strokes back and forth for me. And now I'm just going to use a straight brush, clean with water to blend in the magenta into the blue a little bit better. Like so. And it's going to look like clouds, you know, like awesomeness. I'm going to say awesomeness. It's going to be my word of the day. Awesomeness. I'm putting in a little bit more pinks, just randomly, because they're kind of like, when the sun sets, you'll see pretty colors of clouds and things. So I'm going to bring in some pretty little pink clouds. So we need a little more pink there. Just some pretty pink clouds. Just blowing around. And pull that down like so. Nice. And there's still a little bit of blue right there, but I'm going to add just a teeny bit on the tip of my brush because I want it to blend a little bit more like so. And I think that looks very nice for a sky. Definitely very different. And I'm seeing a little bit of vermilion I want to add just to the base of these clouds right here. Kind of get them to pop a little bit. Sunsets can be any color, and that's the joy of sunsets is there's a never-ending color palette just waiting to be experienced. All right, so that's our sky. Now we're going to take the tape off before it gets too wet, and that is our sunset line. Now we want this to dry right along here before, and we're going to put, you can put tape on it once it dries. It is a good idea to put tape here to keep your line really clean. However, I'm looking at my dolphin sticker, which I'm basing this off of, and it's not really straight. It's got a lot of like waves to it, like a kind of wavy. And the dolphins look so happy. I cannot wait to stick this on here at the end. It's going to be so fun. Anybody else like stickers? Also, I took my positive potato and I glued it onto, I don't know if you can see it, but this has got a sea turtle inside and a jellyfish. And my late sister gave me this years ago with a light underneath for it to shine. But I decided to glue this potato on it. So I have my positive potato. I may be tiny potato, but I believe in you. Go do your thing. And that is how it is. Someone's got to believe in you. And tonight that person is me. All right. Keeping our palette nice and wet because acrylic paints love to dry out so fast. Now I'm going to risk just taking it across. This is unusual because it's lighter here and darker at the bottom. Normally when you see an ocean, it's darker in the back and it gets lighter as it gets forward. So this is going to be a little bit tricky to match that. And I'm actually going to use just, let's see. This is just a little bit smaller of a filbert brush, I think. Yeah, this is a 14 and this one's a 6. And you can see that it's a little bit different size, just a bit smaller, which is what we need here. So let's get that one wet. And I've got my phthalo green here. Phthalo green is the best color for oceans. Look how pretty that is. So what I'm going to do, and it looks like it's been, this one is an older paint, so it's clumping up a bit. So I'm going to add just a teeny bit of white. And you can see all the beautiful colors you get from this phthalo green. The more white you add, the lighter it gets, and it's just gorgeous. And this may not be the exact color, but I like it, so we're going to go with it. And this is where we're going to stick our sticker here, here. All right. Move that out of the way. Now I'm going to use my awesome freehand talent to pull this across for a straight line. Now the dolphins aren't straight, so I'm not too worried if this isn't exactly straight. Yeah, I think we need a little bit more white and a little bit more water as well. This is very dry. And I'm using acrylic paint on a watercolor um, paper. I'll just bring that across nice and easy. And there's our ocean line. How pretty. Isn't that pretty? It's just gorgeous. Now, we're not going to have any sand or palm trees in this one because it's just an underwater scene. And with the underwater scene, we're going to do just like in our picture here. We're going to add this dark blue right about here. So what I picked out was ultramarine blue, and I think that matches pretty good. And our dolphins are going to go right there. So we'll need some ultramarine blue here and here. This is very tricky. I've never matched up a sticker before. Now we'll just pull this in like so. And we'll have a little bit of green and a little bit of blue in here. A little phthalo green and a little ultramarine blue. And plenty of water. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. I'm gonna squeeze out some of that extra blue it just works itself up into the bristles. And if it gets up into your quick where they glue it in, that's when your brush starts to fray out. So you want to keep the paint from getting up into that area. Because once a brush frays out, then you got to get another good brush. You can use that other one for other things, just not for the detail work you usually do. Okay, where's my sticker? Well, it's quite green. And I'm trying to see, is that a lighter green or a darker green? And this is a little bit darker blue right down in here. And I actually think there's a little bit of purple in there as well. So I'm going to grab a little purple from my palette here and mix that in with the blue right here, right on the paper. That'll be nice. And then we'll just add a few little waves. I'm going to use my dark purple for that. And just bring that straight across. And this purple is like a reflection of the sky up there. Let's see how that looks. Looking good, looking good. And we'll just bring these two together. Make sure that once we stick the sticker on, we won't have any gaps. And normally I do reflect the sun into the water, but let's take another look at the sticker. In this sticker, we've got some dolphins jumping up and they're splashing around and having a lot of fun. So I want to add, let's see, and we do have a little bit of an island here. So how fun will it be to add a little bit of an island? Let's see, that's a red. Let me see if I have a magenta colored pen somewhere. Magenta, genta. I actually think I might have a watercolor one. They don't say what the colors are exactly. But I think this might work. It looks like a red. So we're going to put our sticker right here. Look how well the colors are matching up. This is very exciting. So this looks like a little island. It's just like a little island with little bitty trees. And definitely a little bit more magenta than that. So let's see if I can look through my beautiful markers. And I do have an acrylic pink one. It's not quite dark enough, but it may come out darker once it's on the paper. Let's give it a little test. Yeah, I think that'll work, especially if we mix it with the red that's already on here. This is going to be so fabulous. So we're just adding on to the sticker. And then we need little fine little, I don't know if you can see that. There's fine little lines right in here. Those are the tree trunks. And so I'm going to use a pen, a fine pen for those little tree trunks. And I have this, oops, this pink one. Let's see what color that looks like here. It's pretty light, but I think it's dark enough. We can always add another color over it if it's not enough. So now matching the sticker is, this is the fun part. Just throwing in some little tree trunks and making this look like our little island that's reflecting the sun. And there's a little bit of purple in there, which is my favorite color. But I definitely see some purple in there, and it's reflecting from up above. I used quite a bit of paint down here. Let me blot some of that. Perfect. Okay, so let's match this a little bit better. Get it a little closer to the color. This is so fun. I'm actually really having a fun time just matching the colors, and I haven't ever done anything like this before because I don't usually use stickers, but I really like them. You know, anything fun, anything to make your painting fun. This is drying out quite a bit, so I'm just going to try to do a little bit here and there. And I'll put some on the sticker too. I think that's good. Okay. It's just a little baby island. Now, we've got some white here. So I think we're going to use a small fan brush to get a little bit. Let's see here. I thought I had a tiny fan brush. I have so many fan brushes and I never really use them that much. This one's really pretty. It's just not a small one, but I'm going to use it just like a corner of it for some splashing, for some splashy water. So let's get our white nice and wet and runny because we want to have the splashy, um, foamy water splashing up from our dolphins. And this just a little bit more so you can see that. I'm just over here, just kind of making sure it's wet, making sure my thumb gets in the other paint. Okay, so here's that. I don't really know if we need any white. I'm just going to wait on that because it's already in the sticker. So I'm just using my fan to dry this so we can stick our sticker on it. Any questions? Since this is live, I have two wonderful viewers tonight, Miss Angel and her friend. Thank you for joining. Oh, how's the drumming going, Angel? Have you been practicing, or is that something you're going to do uh, later in the summer? Oh, this is so awesome. I'm really excited about this painting. Okay. And the only other thing is we want to hope it sticks. The sticker. What is it? Fish Frank, Lisa Frank, collect them all. And I actually cut this out a whole bunch of sticker choices because I could have chosen a puppy, some big lips, or cute kitty cat. I was thinking about the kitty cat, but I was in the mood for a sunset. So now all we have to do is peel this off and match it to that. And our painting is going to be complete. So let's just make double sure that's dry. And we could even add a little bit of Mod Podge. Where's the Mod Podge? Maybe just a teeny bit of Mod Podge because it does dry pretty clear. So I'm going to grab this brush here that I've already got out, which is, it's my scrubby brush. I'm just getting a little bit on the tip just so the edges will stick. Like it's already got sticky on it, but I want to make sure the edges stick really well. Because it's going to go on paint, and I'm not sure if the stickers are meant to go on paint. Okay. Let's match this up, and then we can finish it off. Oh, wow. I think, oh my goodness, look at that. That turned out almost just perfect. Let me roll this up so you can, if I angle this up, I think I'll have less of a glare from the lights. Roll this up here. A little bit more of an angle, a little less glare. And very, very close. All I need to do now is just bring some of this. I think we did really well in the water and matching the colors up perfectly. And it looks like it was just meant to be that way. And some of this orange, we're going to have to just kind of match that up a little bit more using a small, a very small, more of a detail brush. Now, filberts are my favorite. Let's see, a small filbert. Well, no, it's not a filbert, but you know what? I think it'll work. There's a small scrubby brush. That might even work better, actually. So I'm going to use my small scrubby brush for that. Okay, so just a little bit of matchy color. I decided to abandon my fan brush for now. What is today? Today's Thursday, right? I hope it's Thursday. I usually stream on Thursdays. I'm pretty sure it was trash day today. Let's close up our Mod Podge, which we can also use as a sealer and finish, although it stays a little tacky sometimes. I like the little island here in the background. I'm going to hold that a little closer so you can see it better. And then we just have to match up the color a little bit better, a little bit more detailed. Oops, lowering this up. Have a little bit less glare. Well, quite a bit of glare. Let's try this one. This one's a little bit more firm. Yeah, it's better. Okay. Very nice. I'm just letting that dry a little bit. And very carefully, we're going to add just a teeny bit more. I am getting my thumb in this white. It's right where I grab it, I put a bunch of white here. So we want to add just a little bit more of our vermilion color. So let's get some of that. I'm just going to use my finger to kind of blend it out. And yeah, that's good. And then over here, just maybe a little bit darker there. Just use my finger to blend that out a little bit. And then it goes into a teeny bit of magenta just above that. But we're going to ignore that for just a moment while we add some purple. Now, I found a really good purple earlier. And I am going to test it because one of the purples was purple and one was more blue. So this one's kind of purple. And I actually have purple paint, so I don't know why I'm getting markers. Sometimes I do things that don't make sense. And do you want to know how much I care? Not that much. All right. So let's get a little purple and a little white mixture going on to just match this teeny bit of the color right there. That's all we need to match. And then we're going to put the white like a cloud there. Same on this side. Yeah. And we'll do the white around it like a little cloud. I'm not sure which brush will be the best one for that, but obviously that's a very tiny little line. So I'm thinking a tiny little brush would be great. We had another lovely 90-degree day here in Florida with tons of humidity and a really fun thunderstorm. And it poured buckets. It poured buckets. It was so rainy. It was crazy. It just dumped. We need that rain really intensely here because we are in a major drought. So right now I'm looking for the perfect brush just for that tippy white right there. Let's see, I think this one might work. Give it a shot. And a little more water on our white on our palette. And let's mix that up a little bit. Just like that. Just nice. Careful there. And I am going to paint onto the sticker just a teeny bit. And now just add a little bit of white around the edges, just dabbing it. Because they're tiny, tiny little clouds. This I'm going to turn upside down because I want to get the angle right. And yes, I do paint upside down quite often, and it helps your eye. So you don't always focus on um, the picture. Sometimes just the shape or the colors, it helps to do that. And then we'll just add a teeny bit of purple in there. Just around the edges. I really like how this is matching up. So you can't really tell the sticker from the painting. And that was my goal. I wanted it to just all blend in. Now, some really professional painters that I know are really good about painting dolphins. I think this sticker went on just fine. And look how well that matched. We got the colors all to match. We added a little more of the island here to the sticker. You can see the edges where it is, obviously, but I'm going to leave them there because it's going to remind me that I match those colors. And I could take time. Oh, the magenta needs to be matched a little bit better. Quite a bit of magenta there. So let's use our scrubby brush for the magenta. I still have all these brushes in the water, so I'm cleaning them off right now. It's good to stay clean and organized when you're painting. And here's our little scrubby brush. You can't see, I'm just wiping off some of this. Okay, so we want the magenta just a little bit more right up in here. You can see there's a little more magenta than orange. And it looks like I'm going to need to add more magenta. This is so crazy. I'm using more of that than anything. And I got tons of the other colored paints, which I hate to waste paint, but sometimes it happens. Okay, so like I said, this paint is a little older. It needs a little bit more water to kind of just loosen it up a little bit. Oh, B Arts, hello. Hi. Bayo, you're here too? Oh, thank you. Hey guys. B Arts, welcome to the stream. You're new. I haven't seen your name before. Thank you for saying hello. And you said it just like you know me. And Bayo, thank you. You am indeed. That's awesome. All right, so I'm matching the sticker color with the colors that we have in our sunset. That was my goal, is to get it to match. So just gently rubbing out some of the color. And I think maybe adding a little white might help in this case, because I'm matching the colors of the sticker to the sunset. There we go, a little lighter, perfect. And bring it out, just like that. And gently bring it over, get a little bit more, a little magenta, a little white. It is sticking into this brush. It's like working its way right up into the quick. Like I said, you don't want it to go up there, because then that's when it gets into your the glue part and makes it fray. We don't want it to fray. I just saw we have another little purple cloud up there. We're going to have to match that. A little bit more magenta. Work that into the white. Yeah, matching, I've really never been that great at matching colors, but tonight I think we're doing pretty good. I don't even think you can tell the sticker really from the paint itself. All right, let's blend that around. I do like to use my finger. It gives it a kind of a smooth effect. Now there is a teeny bit of a purple cloud there, just enough to annoy us, right at the top of that dolphin. How was your day today, Bayo? And B Arts, where are you from? You must be an artist. You have the word arts in your name. I really love consorting, conferring, consulting, conversating with. I've got my C words tonight. Other artists, because we're all so different. And it's really cool when we can get together and talk about the similarities of things that we deal with when we're painting. Oops. Uh-oh. My camera's decided to do a floaty again. It does that sometimes. Okay, so let's mix a little purple with a little bit of white. You want to match that little bit of purple right up here, just on the tip. just a little bit of white around the edges. And we're just going to dot it on. I'm going to turn this upside down because I can get a better view of it that way. It's closer to me. Oops, I got way too much water on my brush. That may not be good, but you never know. I think if we add a little bit more white around the edges on these too, it'll match up better. Perfect. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. Let's take some of this water off and just clean that up just a teeny bit. Yeah, that's good. And also a little bit over here. We got a little too much. And just tone it down a bit. How freaking awesome is that? All right, so now we're going to take the tape off. I think we've done really well for tonight. This is going to be exciting. This is the best part, is taking the tape off to get those nice clean lines. Actually, let me whip that camera up just a little bit more. Let's see, how tight did I do that? Just nice and slow and careful, because you don't want to rip your watercolor paper that I used acrylics on. Because I am not a rule follower. I make up my own rules, usually. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. All right, let's pull this off here. Nice and slow. Look how beautiful that looks. Nice, clean line. And, oh, OB Arts, you are from North Carolina. Oh, nice. You're on the same time zone as me. Did you get any thunderstorms today? I know we got quite a few. We get thunderstorms usually every day in the summer, although we've been having a nice drought. And but today we had a really good one with lots and lots of rain, which is nice because I didn't have to water my plants. There we go. How beautiful is that? We have the most beautiful watercolor painting. And where did my little roll up paper go to get that shine off of there? I'm making a new one. Not too much shine. But doesn't that look wonderful? That is a beautiful sunset. Beautiful watercolor. And yeah, North Carolina is really nice. I've been up there. I think I drove through it quite a few times. South Carolina, North Carolina, and on up to Pennsylvania, New York. Actually, I lived in New York for quite some time and then moved down to Florida. And before that, I lived in Seattle. So I've lived in rainy, snowy, cold, and humid, hot sun all over the place. Even Idaho. I'm going to tell you, I even lived in Idaho. It was crazy. But I think the Idaho weather was the best because it was dry, not too hot like Vegas is very hot, and it's not humid. It's got a really nice, even feel to it. So there's our little island. There's our little sunset tonight. I think I might want to add just a little bit of white, some soft white to those clouds there. So I'm going to do that. I want to add a little bit of this pinky color, but I'm going to push some white onto it. Just a teeny bit. I do want them to stand out a little bit. All right, swipe all that off. And then we're going to pull just a little bit down from the top and try to blend it as best you can. Make those clouds look more cloudy. So it's kind of down and over, down and over. And I think that gives us a much better cloud look. That will come up a little bit more. Very pretty. There you have it, guys. Our 1 hour of painting. What time? I think I always go over though. I think I started at about 8:50 and it's 10 o'clock. So if I want to finish a painting, I'm going to have to go over an hour, but that's how long it takes me, I've realized. And I always try to do an hour of painting, but so far I haven't been able to get the whole painting done before just an hour. So thank you for hanging with me tonight. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're already a subscriber, please like and visit my community page. I have a wonderful community page. I'm trying really hard to make it as an artist and a full-time artist, and it's a struggle for me. I quit all my corporate jobs, and and you know what? I'm gonna flip this camera right around if it doesn't fall over, so you can actually see what I look like. I hope I look okay. Hope I'm not too crazy looking tonight. My hair might be. I was outside playing in the pool. So, but anyway, hi. I'm Rachel. And it's really cool to say hello, and I just want you to know I appreciate you coming in and watching my stream. Camera needs to be a little bit higher. There we go. I'll just lower my chair and higher my table. So yeah, so here's our painting for tonight. But I am trying to make it as a full-time artist. It's been a very, very difficult journey. Well, I shouldn't say difficult. It's been a very exciting journey. So I'm super excited to just do art now. This is what I've been wanting to do for the last, I don't know, all my life, I think. So thank you so much for joining and liking, subscribing, and hopefully you can paint your own beautiful sunsets. We'll see you next time. I stream every Tuesday and every Thursday about 8, somewhere between 8:30 and 9. I am not a rigid time schedule person. That's not my thing. So just know that I've got this light glaring off of me. Just know that I usually am always here unless I forget what day it is, which has happened a few times. So here you go. Here's our painting tonight. And thank you so much. So good to see you. Thank you, Bayo, for joining. And OB Arts, thank you from North Carolina. It's been awesome having you here as well. And my favorite angel, of course, Angel and Bayo. I didn't see Boat God tonight, though. She's usually here, so hopefully she's doing all right. So have a great night, and we'll see you next time.